Alright, so this video is to show you how to skin roll. So skin rolling can be done on any part of the body. I would recommend that when you do the skin rolling, you do it on fairly dry skin. If you're finding that as you're doing it, it's feeling a little, I would say if it's a little bit painful or if it's a little bit too much, then maybe adding a little bit of some moisturizer to it. So it could be like castor oil or coconut oil, but you don't want to put a lot of it. So it just needs to be a little bit because you do want some tackiness so you can actually feel the lift of the skin. So you'll be using your thumb and your index finger. So they will be kind of close towards each other. So I'm going to show just along my forearm. But again, this can be done anywhere. So as I have my thumb and my index finger, I'm going to be going in this direction. So I'm going to have my thumb kind of walk or push, and then my other fingers, well, I guess I'm using more than just my thumb and my index finger, but then my other fingers are also walking as my thumb pushes in the other direction. So I can do this all along the length of this tissue. I can also show kind of in this direction so you can see what my thumb is doing. So it should be pretty pliable and it should move. Like when you lift the skin, it should be able to lift up away from whether it's the adipose, the fat tissue, the fascia should also be able to lift, should be able to move away from the muscle. So if it's feeling really tight and it's really hard to do that, then you're just going to be able to, you just want to attempt to lift up as much of the skin as you can. So you also want to move in lots of different directions because the way that the organization of the tissues, it is pretty multifaceted. It's not linear, it's multi-directional. So I can go in this direction, I can move up the length of the tissue, I can work my way down the length of the tissue, I can go in a diagonal direction, and obviously the opposite. Because I'm working along, pretty much the mass of the muscles here, but then you also have attachment sites, either like the distal or the proximal. So then you can also spend a little bit of extra time because obviously that's where you're going to feel a lot of the tension is where that muscle or that tissue attaches, to the bony prominence or to the bone. So you want to spend some extra time doing some work around that area. Again, if it's really hard for you to or uncomfortable because it will kind of produce like a stinging type of sensation, then you can also just lift up the skin and you're just gonna hold. It's almost like you're trying to pull it away from your body. And then you could do just kind of light moving it side to side. And you can do that in lots of different positions. And then as it gets more comfortable, then you can actually, add the skin rolling part of it as well too. But otherwise, this is a good start for you to work with.